Hi friends, good morning. In this video you will get idea about the single phase capacitor motor. Here the windings are already burned in the single phase capacitor motor and it is opened, and now the new windings have been done to the single phase capacitor motor. Before going to the topic, what is the principle of motor? What is meant by motor? See, whenever an electrical energy is given to the electric motor, it converts the electrical energy to the mechanical energy. Already you are having awareness about the basic knowledge about the motor. Here the basic of the electrical motor is functioning of an electrical motor is Faraday's laws of induction. That is that a force is created. For suppose when a force is created and alternating current interacts with the changing magnetic field. When a force is created and alternating current interacts with the changing magnetic field. See, the basics of an electric motor, whatever the motor it may be, there are three basic parts are important in electric motor. They are the stator, commutator, rotor. Stator is a stationary part and rotor is a rotating part and commutator. In this video you can get some knowledge what is happening practically in your schools, colleges and ITS and diploma colleges. You will having about the theoretical knowledge. See what will happen if a motor will not run, even if you switched on the motor, what will happen. This all practical knowledge we will get when we are seeing the practically what is happening, how to open the motor, what are the inside the parts of the motor. See, the basic of an electric motor or stator, commutator, rotor. There are the remaining parts also there. Afterwards it can be discussed. Together they use electromagnetism to cause the motors to spin. Here electromagnetism will cause to spin the motor. As long as the motor receives steady current, the motor works. See how electricity power a motor. Electric motor works by converting electrical energy to the mechanical energy in order to create motion. See, whenever we are giving the electrical energy to the motor, for example, electric motor, for example, for domestic purpose, to pump the water from the lower ground to the, for example, 5 upstairs building. 5 upstairs building, top of the building there is a water tank. This is some example I am going to give the purpose of the application of the motor. Below the water sump is there. Then by using the motor will, whenever we are giving supply, motor will work. Here electrical energy we are giving by switch, and the mechanical energy what is happening, the motor will suck the water and it will pump to the 5 upstairs building. Means the water will take the motor as an input and the motor will pump the water to the 5 upstairs building to fill up the water tank. Here what is happening, here electrical energy is converted to a mechanical energy in case of regarding motor. For example, there are difference between the motor and the generator. The generator, for example, in the cinema halls, whenever you are seeing cinema hall, what is happening, suddenly power will be gone. What will happen, the generator by using the some mechanic by the hand, there is a handle, then we will rotate the handle and the mechanical energy is initiated, and again it will then the generator will start, and there mechanical energy is converted into electrical energy. This will happen, this application will be, we can see in the cinema halls in our life. This is the one the example. See how electricity power a motor. Electric motor works by converting electrical energy to mechanical energy in order to create motion. Force is generated within the motor through the interaction between the magnetic field and winding alternating means the interaction between the magnetic field and the winding alternating. By thus the electricity powers a motor. Regarding the main components of the electrical motor, here we are the stator coil, rotor coil, shaft, they are having the brushes, bearing. These are the some parts of the electrical motor. A power supply, mostly DC for a simple motor. See the main functions of an electrical motor. The main parts of an electrical motor here are stator, rotor. Stator is the stationary part and the rotor is the rotating part in the motor. See what is meant by rotor. In the motor we are having the two parts, main important parts, rotor and the stator, and we can see the windings. See, rotors are the moving parts in the motor. Rotors require existing motion to function. See the function of the motor. An electric motor is an electrical machine that converts electrical energy into the mechanical energy. Here energy is neither be created nor destroyed. This is the main important phenomena. Energy can be converted one form of energy into the another form. Energy neither be created neither destroyed. This is the important thing in the nature. We cannot create the energy. Already energy is in the nature. That energy we have to utilize the energy. We can't create the energy and we cannot also destroy the energy. See the motor, electric motor is an electrical machine that converts electrical energy to the mechanical energy. In this video you are getting some idea about the windings and what is happening in the motor, how are the windings have been done in the motor. This we can observe by seeing this video. Most electric motors operates through the interaction between the motor's magnetic field and the electric current in a wire winding to generate force in the form of torque applied on the motor's shaft. See another type of explanation of how motor is working. An electrical motor converts electrical energy into physical movement. Electric motors are generate magnetic field with electric current through a coil. The magnetic field then causes a force with a magnet that causes moment or spinning that runs the motor. Electric motors are used in our daily life applications by using electricity as one type of source of energy. The electrical energy can be used converted into sound energy. It can be converted into magnetic energy. There are different types of ways of energies that we can convert into different forms. See the function in the motor, we are having the coil. Electric coils are found in electric motors. They serve as a conductor of electricity to efficiently send electric current to electric motors. There are different types of motors. single phase motor and the three phase motors. Here in this video you are seeing this is the single phase capacitor motor. A single phase motor is an electrically powered rotatory machine that can turn electrical energy to mechanical energy. It works by using a single phase power supply. Once again I am repeating, in this video you are seeing the single phase motor. A single phase motor is an electrically powered rotatory machine that can turn electric energy into mechanical energy. It works by using a single phase power supply. That they contain two types of wiring, neutral and hot. So in this video you are seeing the capacitor start motor, a single phase capacitor motor. A capacitor start motor is a single phase motor that gets only the starting torque by the capacitor, and later when the motor attains the required speed, the capacitor gets automatically disconnected from the circuit. The characteristics of a capacitor start motor is having a main auxiliary winding and main winding. The characteristics of capacitor start motor. Capacitor start motor develops high starting torque, about 4 to 5 times the full load torque, and reduces the starting current. See here, the capacitor start motor develops a high starting torque, about 4 to 5 times the full load torque, and reduces the starting current. The direction of rotation can be changed by interchanging the connection of supply to the either of the winding. The capacitor used to start motor. Why we are using the capacitor to start the motor? The purpose of the capacitor is to create a polyphase power supply from a single phase power supply. Here the capacitor, what the capacitor will do in the single phase capacitor motor, the purpose of the capacitor is to create a polyphase power supply from a single phase power supply with a polyphase supply. I think you have understand the difference between the single phase capacitor motor. Here what is happening means the capacitor is to create a polyphase power supply from a single phase power supply. This is the one important point in the single phase capacitor. In this video you can get the idea about what is happening in this video, what the technician means the motor is repairing, how it is repairing, and you will get the knowledge in your diploma or in engineering subjects. Capacitor starter motor used for heavy duty applications requiring high starting torque. For example, it is used in refrigerators, compressors, pumps, conveyors. Here what is meant by windings? What is meant by motor winding? Already we have listened in there are different types of windings we are used in the motors. The electric motor winding or wires that are placed within the coils. There we are using the copper wires. The copper has a very good conductivity, and the motor is winded by the copper wires that are placed within coils, generally enclosed around a coated flexible iron magnetic core to shape magnetic poles while strengthened with the current. In this video you are seeing the copper wire is used for the winding purpose in a single phase capacitor motor. Here you can observe the windings of the windings, copper windings, how we are winding the copper in the video. There are different types of windings are there. There are two types of windings. Windings normally used, two types of windings. There are single phase motor winding and the three phase motor winding. In single phase motor we are using the single phase winding. In the three phase motor you are using the three phase motor windings. And you are having seen the armature and field winding. Armature winding is the winding in which the voltage is induced. Field winding is the winding in which the main field flux is produced when the current through the winding is passed. Once again I am repeating, armature winding is the winding in which voltage is induced. Field winding is the winding in which the main field flux is produced when the current through the winding is passed. This you can understand by the picture representation. Just I am explaining basically. There are two types of windings. Armature winding is the winding in which the voltage is induced in the armature winding. Field winding is the winding which the main field flux is produced when the current through the winding is passed. See, here the motor windings are repairing. How the motor windings already burn copper winding is removed and a new copper winding has been repairing and new winding has been done in this video. In an electric motor operates at too high voltage, excess current flowing through the windings can cause them to become a hot and burn out. See, once again I am repeating, please understand what for a suppose motor is not working. This is also one of the problem we can face in the motors. Why motor windings have burned? What are the reason behind that one? If an electric motor operates at too high voltage, excess current flowing through the windings can cause them to become hot and burnt out. While it is normally not practical to repair small motors that have burnt out, other motors can be repaired by rewinding. Here there are two types of repair can be done in the motor. One is a basic repair can be done and it can be replaced by another new copper windings. For example, if a major burnt happen in the motor, we can't repair that motor, that it can be sent to the scrap. Further it cannot be used. See, why the motor windings to be failed? What are the reasons? The most common cause of motor failure are low resistance. Low resistance is caused by the degradation of the insulation of the windings due to conditions such as overheating, corrosion or physical damage. Continuously running the motor and frequently, for example, frequent using switch on the motor and switch off the motor, switch on the motor, switch off the motor. This is also one of the motor windings to fail. Another one is the